Welcome to Good Mythical More. We are going to give relationship advice, and then we're going to compare it to the same advice. No, we're going to compare it to advice that AI gave to the same question.
Exactly. But first, we're going to give you a random disturbing fact. Within early modern Europe, the acceptance of medical cannibalism was first popularized in the 16th century by the Swiss alchemist Paracelsus.
Paracelsus? What?
Medical cannibalism. Paracelsus believed that the consumption of part of the human head would be able to fix a problem in the cranial region of a sick person. He alleged that the best skulls to be ingested were those specifically of men who, in their prime, had died a violent death.
Oh, gosh.
This is probably not true, Paracelsus. I hate to break it to you.
The best skulls? So he was saying eat the skull, eat the bone?
No, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to eat bone. I just think he means...
The best skulls to be ingested.
But probably just part of the head.
Okay, maybe I'm reading into it. Okay.
How do you eat a skull? And you could eat like an eye, you could eat like part of the brain.
That's our first relationship question.
Yeah, let's hear it.
What's the secret to maintaining a best friendship?
Okay, we've been asked this question a lot because we know people who've been in long-standing best friendships.
Right. Yeah, and the secret for us is every single day.
Ourselves.
So basically on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I have a thing that I do, and then on Tuesday, Thursday, and then Saturday, Link has the things that he does. I'll tell you in a second what it is. On Sunday, we take a break. So typically what I do for Link on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday is right as I'm about to exit the house, I'm like, oh, what can I grab? What kind of little gift of something? And I'll usually just, whatever I see, is sometimes it's like an old gummy bear. Sometimes it's like part of a dog toy that my dog was chewing on. And I take it, I put it in my pocket, I run in, and the first thing I do in the morning is I'm like, here you go, Link, here's your friendship gift. And I give that to him,
Right.
and then he puts it in his backpack. And then when that backpack gets filled up, he takes that backpack and he puts it in his attic, and he gets a new backpack and he starts filling it up. So that's
Right.
that's the part that I play.
Right, and then every 5 years, we get together and we burn the backpack and we melt it all down into like something that then what I do on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturdays is I hack off a piece of the like
Melted.
It's melted.
thing, yeah.
It's kind of like
It's all kind. It could be anything.
like
you know?
it's like magma, like lava, like dried lava.
It's kind of just a gray mass. We call
It's
it.
glob. I'll hack off a little bit of that and I'll feed it to him.
He feeds it back to me.
I feed it back to him.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like this, it's the circle of friendship, we call it.
I've eaten a lot of melted down plastic
Right.
over the past 35 plus years. So that's what we do.
It's weird that is exactly what ChatGPT said as well. Also described it as glob as a adjective.
Big glob. Yeah.
It's like glob.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Building and maintaining a best friendship is not about secrets, okay, but rather about nurturing and fostering a deep, meaningful connection. Right. Best friendships are characterized by trust, mutual support, and a sense of genuine care for one another. Some key elements that contribute to a strong and lasting best friendship include trust, communication, common interests, acceptance,
glob,
loyalty, quality time, laughter, and fun.
What about the gifting of things that you grab as you're leaving home?
Common interests.
Common interests. Yeah, we're very commonly interested in that. Okay, so pretty much the same answer.
Yeah.
And it takes investment because for the longest time, Rhett was like, are you sure you're going to melt this down into a glob for me?
Yeah.
Because he kept giving me the stuff and like on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays.
The attic was getting very full.
Yeah, the attic was getting full, but like he wasn't really benefiting. So there was trust.
Yeah.
So I think we gave the same answer, but ours was just more applicable.
Yeah.
Now, you look like you need to run, Link, but I'm not the one that can have
Link, you
run.
lost. So when I say, run, Charles, run, I want you to run.
Around
It
the
just
studio?
just laps. Run, Charles, run. There he goes. Whoa, wow, he's really moving. Wow. He's high stepping. Whoa, there he goes again. I can confirm he doesn't have a case of the walking farts. I was hoping he might. Okay, Charles. Okay, all right, that's good enough. Let's answer another question.
Okay.
How do you avoid loneliness in a long-distance relationship?
Phone sex.
Yeah, that is one way. Another thing that you can do is you can...
Really depends on the type of phone.
So you take the person...
But if you get really lonely, it doesn't matter what type of phone.
So you take the person that is the one that you want to be with. And then when they're not expecting it, you're going to need to take the app where you can like LiDAR scan somebody into a 3D situation. But just the way I have done this in the past with my wife is I asked her to get completely naked, which that was expected. But then, as I was scanning her, I was like, "Oh, there's a fly," and I was like, "Oh, that fly," and the whole time I was just scanning her whole naked body. But I kept saying, "Oh, the mosquito." I changed bugs, because I didn't want her to know I was creating a perfect 3D scan of her body. But then, when she leaves to go out of town, I've never told anybody this before.
I've not heard it.
I contacted one of those companies that makes the ladies out of latex. And I had my wife recreated. It's very, very lifelike. It's a little bit, her face is a little bit wonky because I was swatting. When I was scanning her face, it was one of the most swatty places.
Is that the only part that was?
Everything else is perfect, but her face is a little misshapen in the latex version of her that I have that I spend a lot of time with when she's out of town. But I'll tell you one thing: I'm not lonely when she's gone.
Everybody needs a little time away.
Loneliness is a common challenge in long-distance relationships, but there are several strategies you can use to help mitigate these feelings. Virtual dates.
Okay.
Join online communities.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
Make new friends.
I made a new friend. I got a company to make her.
Self-care. Keep a positive mindset.
Yeah.
I call her Jess E.
Like E period? Like Jess.
It's like Wall-E.
Space.
But it's Jess E. Jess E.
Eva.
I think my husband might be stealing money from me. How do I confront him about this?
Okay. So you got separate bank accounts.
Yeah.
Well, that's your first thing. Separate bank accounts.
Well, it doesn't necessarily mean separate bank accounts.
Or like stealing money from your drawer?
Because you could have
That's
one
tough.
bank account, but you're siphoning the money off
Boy, that's bad.
to something else.
That's like a relationship breaker right there.
Yeah, but let's just say it's happening.
You know? How do you find out?
How do you confront him?
With
Or
divorce,
how
papers.
do I, you know what I'm saying?
Divorce papers. I think this is a divorceable offense.
Oh, really? Well,
Yeah.
Well, I think there's a threshold.
I mean, does he have a problem? Is there like an addiction involved?
Well, I don't know the details, Link.
He's like collecting ceramics. My wife does
Collecting
that.
ceramics?
Yeah, that's my wife's problem.
Oh.
But she tells me about it. She's like, I bought another one. I bought another ceramic.
But she's not really stealing. She's confessing the usage of your collective money. This reminds me of a situation.
And we don't separate our money.
This reminds me of a situation that I ran into with Jess E. Listen, there was a couple. Once I got to the website and I started designing her, there was a whole bunch of check boxes, and I was like, the works. I quit paying attention after a while.
You got tempted into some, dare I say, upgrades.
Yeah, and one of the upgrades was full sentience.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. And so Jess E has her own bank account. And
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I did find, and it's interesting because I found that she was also really into ceramics.
Ceramics.
It's something about It was something about the way ceramics feel on your latex skin. I don't know what it is.
It's her pottery prerogative.
It's something about the two textures. I can't tell you the number of times that I've come home and found Jess E. with just a pot of something.
Right.
Just kind of just holding it closely. Nothing in it. Sometimes she'll put her whole head in it, which is not easy because of the misshapen part of it.
So you let her out when your wife's home? She's out and about too?
No, this is when Jesse's out of town.
Oh, okay. Where do you keep her otherwise?
My attic.
Oh.
Yeah. Same place.
That I keep my book bags?
You keep the glob.
Yeah. I got a glob. You've got Jess E.
So anyway, the way I handled it with Jess E is I just turned that feature off. It was not easy. I had to call the website. Well, yeah.
You could have gotten her to do it.
No, she's not that smart. I had to call I called the number on the website.
She's sentient.
And I believe I was actually speaking of AI, I think I was talking with an AI assistant, receptionist. But I did get the problem handled. I got that feature turned off. She hasn't touched a pot in weeks.
Okay.
Run, Charles, run! We got another scenario.
Well, don't you want Chat GPT?
Oh, yeah. What does Chat GTP say?
GTP. Confronting a spouse about potential financial issues can be a sensitive and challenging situation. It's essential to approach the matter with care, empathy, and a desire to understand the situation better. Here are some steps to consider when addressing concerns about possible financial misconduct. Gather evidence. Choose the right time and place. Stay calm and non-judgmental. Ask for their side of the story. Legal options. Just legal options.
Take legal options. Consider
Options.
legal options. All right, Charles. You can come sit down. We're still better than AI so far.
What's the best way to add some spice to your relationship?
I found hot paprika is, you got to be careful though. You don't want too much of it. And it will.
How tall is she?
It'll burn.
Is she in the attic too?
Hot paprika? How tall is she?
How tall is hot paprika?
Spice.
The blood's in my extremities. I'm not really thinking.
How do you
right
add
now.
spice to the relationship?
How do you add spice to the relationship when she's stealing your money?
No, these are separate questions.
Yeah, we moved on.
Oh, we moved on? Well, mystery.
Yeah.
Mystery adds spice. And sometimes the best way to mystery is silence.
Whoa. Yeah.
So just don't say anything. It's just a bunch of furtive looks.
Yeah. Go weeks without talking to each other.
Yeah. Some people call it the silent treatment.
Yeah.
I call it sexy. Sexy silence.
You go 3 to 4 weeks without speaking at all, and then you come home from work in nothing but a trench coat.
Just speak with your eyes.
And a magnifying glass.
Furtive glances and
for yourself.
an investigator outfit. That's all you need.
Yeah. You can be like, let me get a better look.
But you can't say that. You're saying that with your furtive glances.
Yeah. You're saying it, yeah, exactly.
Right. Mystery. Oh, what's he thinking?
And then once you solve the mystery, you can start talking again.
What's he up to? Why isn't he talking for weeks? Something wrong with him?
Yeah. You can also just leave for a month.
Yeah, distance makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah, you leave for a month and don't tell her where you're going. It's a mystery. Where's your husband, ma'am? I don't know.
It's pretty hot,
And
though.
then when you come back, it's like the way that she appreciates you is incredible. She's usually contacted the police by then. And probably filed a missing persons report.
Missing persons.
But when you come back after that, the way that she will just...
Right.
Usually, you'll get a good reception. Especially if you're in nothing but a trench coat with a magnifying glass.
Yep. It helps if there was actually a kidnapping, like if you were held somewhere.
Yeah, well, you can tell her that.
Yeah. Right.
Beat yourself up a little bit.
How's ChatGPT compared to this?
Adding spice to your relationship is a great way to keep the romance alive
Yeah, it
and
is.
maintain a strong connection with your partner.
Right.
Here are some ways to add excitement and variety to your relationship. Surprise gestures. So I
Yep.
guess- Yep. That's
Furtive
what that
glances,
is.
surprise gestures.
Explore new activities.
Yeah.
Also, like getting fake kidnapped is
Yeah, right. A
technically
new activity is leaving
Yeah.
without saying anything
Right.
for a month.
Share dreams and goals. That sounds hot to me.
I got a dream to leave for a month.
You talk about her leaving, and then you talk about you leaving. So she leaves for a while, and you bring out Jess E, and then she comes back, and you leave for a
Yeah,
while.
I don't take Jess E with me when I leave.
Right.
So I really want her to
Finally-
leave.
Spice up your intimacy. Keep the flame alive in the bedroom by trying new things, exploring each other's desires, and being open to experimentation. Communication about your desires and boundaries is crucial in this area.
Well, you can start a fire in the bedroom with a magnifying glass if you get close to the window.
Body hair is flammable.
Remember when we used to do that? My brother one time. You remember the little field in front of our house?
Across the street?
Yeah. Now there's a house there.
Yeah.
But we would have the magnifying glass and we would catch leaves, like just the random leaves on fire.
Right.
And one time, the fire got out of hand.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like basically like when you see those TikToks of people like burning grass on purpose, and it's like, but we were like going, it was just going out into a circle, and it just was going and going and going, and it was like 20, 30 feet wide, and we're like running around trying to stamp it down, thinking that we've just ruined everything.
So you didn't run away. That's good. You put it out.
We put it out. Yeah, it was hot.
If you're not already a Third Degree member, well, you got to join quarterly or annual by December 31st to get the Guess Who game, mythicalsociety.com.